La 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 la. Hey, this is a song for my haters. Yeah, you got me feeling like the greatest.
Throw, dropping the pass in trouble. He gets the pass away over the middle, and it's picked off at the 20-yard line. Dansby makes the interception.
Welcome back. You're now tuned in to an episode of Press Coverage Podcast. Of course, you know I'm your host, E. Dansby. Today I got a special guest sitting with a CSRA gridiron legend, former TW Josey Eagle, former South Carolina State Bulldog, and All-Pro for the Augusta Spartans, and now promoter extraordinaire. It's no other than the OG, man. It's Marvin Stone.
So, what up?
What's up, bro?
Cooling, man. Cooling.
Especially want to thank you for coming out here, taking out your time, bro. I know you're busy, stewarding your time different ways, but I definitely appreciate you coming out here, sitting and talking with us, man.
Bro. Appreciate you having me, bro.
No problem, bro. Diving right into your story, bro. We're practically from the same side of town, man. So what would you like just coming up here in the city?
Man, it was great for me. You feel me? It molded me. It made me. Like, I love my city. I'm Augusta all the way through and through. You feel me? For sure.
Yeah, and when you talk about, we talked, previously in our talks, we say, you're from Olive Road. I'm from Essex McIntyre. All that stuff is tied in together. We've been tied in for, just one school in particular, which is Josey. When you talk about the African-American community here in Augusta, you always think about Laney and Josey. You know what I'm saying? But, back in that time period, especially when you was coming up, it was all about, all about Josey, all about the green and gold, man. So, sports just in that, in our area, because some of the things we might have to face, not being as privileged, not saying you wasn't or I wasn't, but sometimes most of the people around us, we're not as privileged to be privy to other different things outside of our community. So, just what did you find your love for the game of sports?
Just growing up, I come from a sports family. Like, our whole background just sports mainly. Like, we had better backyard games than some of the games I had, like real life sports. You feel me? Like, just my family members, watching them coming up, watching like my uncle, my pops, like everybody we just always been in the sports, like straight up and down.
I feel you, man. And that's something like me, man. My pops, played over in Carolina and North Augusta, always instilled that in me as well. Just that sports mentality coming up, just no matter where I was, whether I was in South Carolina, whether I was in Georgia, Essex McIntyre over there, it was always just sports. We had places like, I know places that such as like Mimic Park and Carrie Mays and the Boys and Girls Club.
May Park, it was May Park for me. Like, shout out to Bo, shout out my Uncle T-Bo. Like, it was May Park. Like, that was like the first taste of it for me. And it just instilled like a foundation in me, like early, like just seeing and being around it, like it just molded me.
Yeah. And man, we from the same area, but we know in that area, man, there's different stuff that can steer us in the wrong way. Seemed like to me, you were steered in the right way, because when you talk about just the different housing project that was there back in that time, you got Jennings Homes, you got Sunset Villa, Essex McIntyre Boulevard, and all those streets. It's all different type of things that kind of take us in a different path. But some type of way we chose to stay on the right path. So what was that for you? Just keeping you maintained.
Man, it was my father. Like, always had a big influence on my life. Always steered me in the right direction, and always like provided for me and guided me and made sure I stayed away from that. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you, man. The same thing with my dad. And during your time, it was different things going on. In that time, in your era, I was definitely young, but I definitely remember the Island Boys and all the different type of stuff that were going on. Just different stuff going on at that time, and I just remember. But some type of way, I just thought, just stayed in the sports. It seemed like you did the same thing.
Yeah, that really saved a lot of us back then.
The sports, man.
Like, I had some homeboys who going through the struggle just like me, and we all just focused on sports, and that was our way out. Young coming up, like we going to the league, or we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Like, we had sports to kind of deter us from the outside activities, the negative activities. Like, we still did what we did, but we all had a common goal. I came up with a good group of guys, and we just had one focus, and that was just to make it in sports.
That's it, man. And that was in my group of guys. Like, in my time, it was always, the best guy to come from Josey, and I just didn't go to Josey. It was a Danny Daggett. When we talked about Danny Daggett, it was like, now you don't remember Marvin Stone.
Oh yeah,
I said, I definitely remember Stone. And George Brown, but it's like, now we talking about Marvin Stone. But when you don't see the era, play. Of course, I was going back in DC at that time. during your time when you were playing. So I heard the name, but couldn't put a name with a face. And then when you start coming back and hearing, you know, having different people on the podcast, when I have a Furley on, when I have a JK on, and they like, hey, man, hey, Stone was that guy, not only in football and in basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it was like I dominated my era. Like, I was him. You feel me? Like, and not just me, but the group of guys that was around me. Everybody wanted to be him, and that was like something that really drove all of us. Like, a competitive nature. You feel me? Like, everybody wanted to be the best.
Gotcha, bro. I got you. And man, like I said, you know, earlier we just mentioned Josey and Laney, but Josey in particular was that top tier team on the gridiron back in those, you know, mid '90s, late '90s. Definitely a team that was a force to reckon with up under Coach John Starr. He definitely came there in 3 years, took him to the state championship. Man, you come behind guys like a Deion Grant or George Brown, Troy Talbot, Rod Holloman. There's a few names, just the name, that definitely was doing that thing over there, helped that team go 15-0. So with that, seeing that and those expectations put on you, what were just some expectations for yourself going into Josey?
I just wanted to, like, Troy Talbot, Ahmad Talbot, like, those are my first cousins. Like, we all grew up in the same house, Olive Road. Like, we all competed from a young age. So it was just carrying on the family legacy. You know what I'm saying? At Josey, like, I had to not live up to what they did, but I had to make my own mark for myself. You feel me? And I ain't, like, I had to deal with them. You feel me? So it was just, it came natural.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, because like you said, that Josey team, man, they able to go 15-0, the only team from around here in Augusta to do that. In 1995, they go 15-0. They got guys, like you said, Deion Grant, who, you know, won the state championship. He goes on to win the national championship and ends the Super Bowl champion. He just kind of set the standard for you guys coming behind him. And like you said, you come in 1996?
I came in 96, 97.
96, 97.
Yeah, that was my freshman year.
Yeah, so
and that was their senior year.
Senior year, so
they was coming off state championship. And shoot, they went what? They went undefeated that whole season, my freshman year. Like, I came in, like, funny story, I came in as a freshman, right?
Yeah.
8th grade, come from Morgan Road. We just went undefeated. We lost the championship. So, you know, I'm my first cousin. He's still there. That's who I'm looking up to. That's who I'm kind of carrying myself behind. And the 8th grade summer, I started playing passing league with Josey. So I'm balling in passing league. So they like, oh, man, you're going to be starting. You're going to come in as a freshman. You're going to be playing. You're going to be, all right, cool. Everybody had high expectations for me. So he told me, he was like, hey, cuz, shit gonna be different now when we putting them pads on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, man, I ain't tripping. So, you know, at Josey, varsity had green jerseys. So I'm out there, fresh green jersey, balling, varsity. Boom, pads come out, go to JV, yellow jersey, too much contact for me.
Yeah.
Boy, hitting out there. Like, these All-Americans out there I'm competing with it in practice as a freshman. So I'm struggling. Next week, I come out there, no jersey, shoulder pads. Like, they built me up, then they broke me down, then they built me back up, and it worked out for me.
Yeah, I feel you.
Sure.
I feel you, man. As an 8th grader, sometimes you coming in and you high steam, you rolling, and you feel like, I done it in middle school, and I can do this thing, same thing in high school, and take it to the, you know, duplicate whatever I was just doing in middle school. And it's different. It's a different
level, man. Different level.
You're playing against, you know, you're probably 13, 14 years old coming to high school. These guys 17, 18 years old. They got their grown man bodies.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just different. And it's a different level of football at that time. Because, you know, up on the Coach Starr, I believe Coach Starr might have left.
He left that next year.
The next year. So he didn't stick around long.
We had Tommy Macon come in.
Yeah, he didn't stick around long, not too far long after they won that state championship, man. But like I said, shout out to you to just, you know, come in, let them guys take you up under their wings and go and ball out. So, you know, you're there from 96 to 2000, man, and you're not only good, you know, on the football field, but you also done your thing in basketball. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Basketball, we just, like, it was just my era. We played sports year round. Yeah. Football, basketball, baseball, track. Like, baseball was one of my favorite sports, one of my best sports. A lot of people don't know that. Like, I love baseball. Like, I go pitch 9 innings, then I go run the 100, 4x1, like, same day, like, straight up.
Yeah, so
feel me?
Like Josey, Joey's all everything.
Like, just sports, period. And basketball, we had some great basketball players come through there. Tony Mitchell, Tyrone Hayes. Like, it was tough. Like, it was just competitive.
Yeah, I got you, man. And like I said, you do your thing in high school, bro. get some accolades, man. All-state player, Georgia Player of the Year.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely you played some, done your thing there. Took that wave with Dion and those guys started. Put your own print on it and made your mark. But just like any other great high school player, you got aspirations of going over to the next level, and that's playing in college. So just tell us about what the recruiting process like was for you.
The recruiting process, it was great. It was kind of, it was dope, really. Like just to go on the camp circuits every summer, just to meet different coaches, different other players. Like it was have coaches come to your crib, recruit you, talk to your parents, things like that. Like it was a learning experience, but it was fun and it was dope.
Yeah, for sure. Also, man, you come to the decision to go to South Carolina State University. That's an HBCU right
for sure.
out in Orangeburg, man. We know that from a PWI to a HBCU, I was able to visit both. We understand the coaches are different. It's a little bit type of different atmosphere on campus. So, what was just like South Carolina State? What led you to get to South Carolina State?
They had been recruiting me hard. Like, I really could have went anywhere I wanted to go in the nation coming out of high school, but qualifications, SAT score, things like that, it kind of held me back because I really didn't, focus on that aspect of it. I ain't take that part serious. So it was a learning lesson for me, and I always had state in the back of my mind.
Right.
So signing day, I really wasn't going to sign. I really was going to go to JUCO, but Coach Blanchard from State, he reached out to me, and I was like, cool, I'll go to State. Signed as a prop, me, Mike Nixon, Ralph Scott, all of us signed out there together. Yep,
big time player from Georgia. Definitely remember him. Yeah, that's what's up, man. But for me, in my process, it was more like kind of the same thing. SAT, ACT, weren't really taking it serious, man. Kind of got to that point in high school. Senior year, I feel like I'm the star.
There you go.
And I ain't even going to class like that,
For sure. But if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have signed. I probably wouldn't went to JUCO. I went to prep and then went on from there. But live and you learn, you feel me?
That's it, man. And now when I look back in hindsight, I kind of say the same thing. But for me, going to App State was definitely a blessing in disguise for me. Because I feel like I could have went to a bigger school, but I don't think the focus would have been there. And in App State, being in Boone, North Carolina, anybody that's been there knows that's just an area, just like a school of athletics.
Yeah,
don't have too many distractions out there. There's some, different parties and stuff going on out there, but it's mainly just a school of athletics. Everybody.
And how State is, like Orangeburg, South Carolina State, like HBCU, like me going in there, like going in as a prop, not playing my first year, I kind of really lost interest in it. You feel me? Okay. So that's how I ended up playing the arena ball.
Arena ball, yeah. We about to get to that next, man. So, like you said, you go to South Carolina State, man. It goes the way it goes. You kind of lose your interest. You come back home, man. You jump into the arena football, Augusta Spartans. Something that's been big around here for those 2 years, man. Just tell us about that.
It was dope. It was kind of like, once I left school, I really ain't had nothing to do. I really was going down the wrong path. You feel me? Ended up on the other side of the tracks.
Right.
But then, they brought the team to Augusta, and that kind of saved my football life.
Yeah,
feel me?
Sure.
So, and it kind of, gave me some positive to focus on, and just gave me another opportunity to play ball.
Gotcha, I got you, bro. And when you look at what the Augusta Spartans do, I remember coming up as a middle school, right before high school, man. Augusta Spartans was definitely something to talk about. And those games used to be packed, and you guys were definitely winning, you know what I mean? Sure. And I remember when they started saying the name Marvin Stone, I didn't remember it from Josey. I remember it from the Augusta Spartans. That's why I had heard the name before, and then I just started putting two and two together, knowing JK and us going back and him trying to get me to come to Laney, and when he started saying your name, I said, Marvin Stone. I said, bro, I know that from the Augusta Spartans. And then I started putting the names because my family S and McIntyre, that's Josey area. So just naturally, they knew who you were, me coming back here from DC. So, you play for the Spartans, man, and then you have a lot of success there. You're all pro there. You have a lot of different accolades. So now, as athletes, we start to try to transition. It's always a transition point. For me, it was in the trucking game. For you, now in the barber game, in the promoting game, and we'll get into that. So what was just like the transition out of sports for you?
For me, it was tough because I had a knee injury, and it kind of ended my career with the arena ball at the height of my career. So it kind of broke me at that point. You feel me? So I had to take some time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, and ended up cutting hair. It just came natural. I had some homeboys who influenced me to start cutting, and that's what I started doing. And it just came natural. I fell in love with the game, with the passion of it, the craft of it, and it turned out all right for me.
Gotcha, I got you, man. And like you said, as athletes, sometimes we have to take that path sometimes sooner than what we want to. For me, 1 year in Carolina, in the second year in Minnesota, man, these guys, Trey Waynes is gone, Xavier Rhodes are gone. All these guys has been staples in Minnesota. That defense is now breaking down and breaking apart. First preseason game in Minnesota, we playing against the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. So, I'm like, man, I'm finally getting my shot. This practice squad stuff is over with. I know I'm going to probably start with having a great camp, returning the kick, pushed out of bounds, tell my plantar fascia off the bone. And it's pretty much over with. And,
it happened to the best of them.
And it happened to the best. And I'm like, for me, it's like, God, why me at this time?
But it's tough, though. It's tough, like, to deal with an injury once you get a taste of that success. Like, it can be depressing. Like, I seen some cats not come back from it. You feel me?
Yeah, for real. I've seen guys, man, mentally struggle with just not being in the game no more.
It was a struggle for me, but, I had a praying mother and a good support system, and it saved me.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel you, man. I feel like the same with me, man. My mom and dad, they kind of definitely steered me while I was actually playing ball. They was always encouraging me, like, hey, man, you need to
figure out what you're
going to do. Like,
yeah,
you're 26, you're 27. Of course, you got your college degree. Yeah. Went to college, was able to finish, done those 5 years, and then came out as an undrafted free agent. But she's like, you need to really think about what you want to do after this, because, as an undrafted free agent, you go into camp, you start seeing guys get cut off. Roommates gone, this person go. Sure. The average career don't last for 4 years, and I was sticking around going into that 4th year. Man, I'm about to get this opportunity, about to get this shot. I'm gonna make the best of it. And the plantar fascia go. The next year, I tried, sign with Indianapolis and re-injure the injury again. It's kind of all she wrote. Now, came back and but I had to jump into something next. What was next? So, at the same time, becoming a young father and everything like that. I had to make a decision. You're gonna try to ride this football wave, try to keep the dream alive, or you're gonna step up.
You're gonna step up, be a man, and provide. You feel me?
And it was already in me to do that anyways. But at that point, it became a reality.
There you go.
In front of you.
You can't chase the dream forever. Like some cats chase the football dream, the pro dream forever. Like at some point, you got to realize that
it's gonna come to an end for sure.
There you go.
And for me, man, what helped me a lot was that I took everything in. I didn't take it for granted. Being in the tunnels, coming out, I just kind of took it all in. Some guys, they just, in training camp, you get out of the awe moment. And it's like, okay, now I got to go out and compete. And I was in that moment. But for me, I tried to take every opportunity to just take it in.
Yeah, because it's a blessing, man. A lot of people don't get the experience.
They don't. That was one thing Deion told me, like, hey, man, take it in. You're undrafted. Sure. He was realistic with me. You're an undrafted free agent. You're coming in here. It's gonna be.
It's against you.
It's against you. But if you go out and ball out, we all got shoulder pads and the helmet. And it was just OG just coming from the city telling me like this is what it is. And I kind of knew that already from having different family members that played before me, college days that played, being close to Brandon Marshall, who people don't even know. He played right here in Augusta at West Side.
He played at West Side. I remember we played. I think it was my junior year we played against my sophomore, junior year. Like a lot of people don't know that.
They don't even know that, man. Your sister was a big time basketball player right here in the area. But a lot of Brandon was a guy that, man, was kind of like a brother, older brother to me, man. His stepmom and my mom were very close. So I was around him a lot as before he moved to Florida and stuff like that. I'm still keeping contact with him to this day. But he told me, hey, it's gonna come to an end at some point, whether you feel it. And I didn't see it coming to an end then. I feel like at my age, at 31, okay, it'll come to an end. I could accept it more. But, like I said, an untimely injury, it ended it for me. And I had to come home and then pick up and then, again, carry the weight, man. So, you mentioned earlier, man, that you got into the barbering thing, man. So how that been?
It's been great, man. It's been great. It's been a great foundation for me, great foundation for me in my life. Like, it's that's how I eat. You feel me? Like, I go to work every day. I don't never take no client for granted.
Gotcha,
and it's a blessing.
It's pivotal, yeah. That's pivotal that you say that you sometimes as business owners and people of entrepreneurship, we get our clients and sometimes we have so many we start to shuffle them, it's kind of push some of them aside. But that's one thing shout out to you that you never this shun none of them.
Oh no, you can't. You can't because that's who make you.
That's where your money comes from.
If I ain't got no hair to cut, no head to cut, then I ain't making no money. So I try to make sure I take care of everybody that I can take care of, in a allowed amount of time that I'm working.
Right.
For sure.
And when we talk about barbering, man, I feel like, everyone tries to be a barber. Now, you even got, back during your time, probably, it wasn't a lot of women in the game. And now you got a lot of women in the game. And shout out to the women that's, able to, cut men hair and taking that big risk on, taking on a male clientele. But just it's your expertise. I see a lot of people now, and it's funny. I see dudes. I said, man, your tape line look real like shiny, like you sprayed it on.
Yeah.
Like what's up? Like what's
sure.
up with that? What going on with this? The enhancements now.
It's a part of the game. Like for me, it's not a necessity. It's per client. Like
per client, what they want.
It's what they want. Like you can't. You got to adapt with the times. You feel what I'm saying? You could be an old school barber, somebody walk in the shop, they want enhancements. Oh, I don't do enhancements. So they're going to go to the next shop. You got to keep up with the trends in the barber world and be able to provide and adapt what it is your clientele looking for.
Right. I got you, bro. Like I said, I always got to adapt with the time. That's when I feel like that's pretty much in every business.
Yeah,
you got to be able to adapt with the times and just accommodate to the customer.
There you go. Enhancements popping now. So
it is.
Got to do it. If you ain't doing it.
I just had a big event not too long ago, so, man, I definitely went and got, I said, hey, man, go ahead and put it. At first, I was against it. I said, nah, man, go ahead and hit me with that real quick.
There you go.
And make it look a little better.
It make a difference, though. Like, somebody's hairline might be thinning. They might have unnatural hairline. Like, enhancements save a lot of people. You feel me? Like,
sure. And so until they start sweating, you like, hey, man, what the hell going on?
That come with it, man.
Yeah,
that come with it. You know what I'm saying? That come with it.
That definitely come along.
I see you in 2 more days. I'll spray you again.
Yeah, that's it. But that's more money, though, with the enhancement.
There you go. Like, you gotta provide the service. You feel me? Like, for real.
Yeah, that's it, man. So we got the barbering thing, man. At some point in some time, I know it's probably been on your plate heavy before, even when you was barber, get into the promoting game.
It just kind of came natural. I felt like I built a big enough name, big enough brand for myself, like coming up through the city that I can eventually like take that on. It was always something I always had in the back of my mind. Like once I figured out what my foundation was gonna be, that was always something I wanted to get into. And I tried it one year. I threw a birthday party downtown, and the outcome was great. Yeah, like the outcome was great. The people enjoyed it, and the rest kind of been history. You feel me?
Man. I feel you, man. And I see it all the time on social media. You see where you're always bringing somebody big to the city. Just brought somebody big to the city here the other night. You know what I mean? So it's just like I just see. It's like hit after hit after hit. It's kind of like you like to promote like a Drake in the promoting game. He's dropping hit after hit.
It be like that, but it's I mean, it's a grind. You know what I'm saying? It's a grind. Definitely. I put shows together. I manifest the shows before the shows even happen. I envision it, and people see that the successful parts, but people don't see when you lose 10,000 here, when you lose 7,000 here, when you book an artist and they booking email got hacked, so you lose the deposit on that. Like it's like people see the good, but they really don't see the behind the scenes and the grind and the phone calls and the relationships you got to build to kind of get to that point. You feel me?
I feel you there. And I feel like anybody that's successful in any point in life is always what you see and what you don't see. A lot of people don't see the actual grind behind it. Those hours at night that people when they sleep, you up trying to put these shows together.
There you go. I'm looking on YouTube,
trying to find the next biggest thing.
Studying Instagram to see how many people following from around here. That if I bring this artist, all right, he got 300 people from Augusta following him. All right, cool. That's 300 potential people that'll come see the show. For sure. You feel me? But if they hot, they just hot. So you just got to catch them at the right time.
You got to catch them at the right time. Yeah, timing. I feel like I tell people time is the currency, and timing is everything, especially in your line of business now, man. So like I said, you're a promoter extraordinaire. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I would say the best one in the city right now.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, promoter of the year, SBA Awards, man. Hey, for sure,
we're gonna try to get this podcast in there this year.
Hey, we're gonna get you there, bro.
We're gonna be out. It's growing, man. That's
it.
We're gonna keep grinding, keep bringing in people just like yourself and get us in here. But let's talk about now a guy that's always a subject of a topic. Dwayne Stokes, man. You guys have built a relationship together.
Yeah, for sure.
At Oak, at Truth. You know what I mean? Y'all guys have been able to bring something to the city that's been consistent, because we know in your line of business, it's always a huge turnover rate where you got this club from that club and this club. And in our community, we know we go with the hottest thing. What's hot right now? That's what we jump on. We know sometimes in other communities, and I would just say, not to throw any aspersions, let's just say in the white community, they're gonna be loyal to where they go. If they go to the pub or wherever they go, or Rack and Grill, they're gonna continue to go to Rack and Grill. For 5 to 10 years to 20 years, they're going to be faithful customers of that place. You know what I mean? They're going to patronize that place for a long time. But how, you know, just you and Dwayne Stokes, man, how have you guys relationship developed? How have you guys been able to just withstand such turnover, especially in a city like Augusta?
It's just we try to like just stay consistent.
Yeah.
Try to stay consistent. Try to like provide people with the best club experience they can get in Augusta. You know,
Yes.
dope venue, true.
It is.
Probably one of the best venues in the whole Southeast. And we just developed a friendship and a relationship over the years, and he kind of took me under his wing and kind of gave me the game. And then, you know, it's a different age gap between us. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So I keep him on was hot and was not. And
Right.
And we just developed a great working relationship, business relationship. But outside of all that, we got a dope friendship.
That's
like,
what's up.
you feel me? We got
Yeah.
a mutual respect for each other.
That's
And
what's up.
we just rock out, man.
That's it, man. I feel like when you say mutual respect, sometimes that's where the base level of a good relationship starts.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
a respect. You know, he respect you as in your craft of becoming a good promoter to bring these type of artists and different stuff to his club, and you respect him as somebody that's gonna provide
Yeah,
that provide that opening for him to be like I said, Oak and Truth has definitely been the two hottest spots I would say in the
for
past
sure.
5 years and running now or
Yeah, for
longer.
sure.
It may be longer, but for
Man,
five
but
for the 5 years I've been back
yeah,
here.
for sure. But you know, we grinded it up, man. Like we
Yeah.
stayed down. Like we didn't give up on it. Like it was nice. It'd be just me and him, and people weren't really rocking with it like that.
Yeah.
But we stayed focused. We stayed the course, and we got him back in there. We
That's it, man.
rebuilt the brand. You
Rebuilt
feel
it.
me? Like
Yeah.
we rebuilt the brand, and we got the wave right now.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah,
And
for
the
sure.
last, I went to the Truth, man, like on a Thursday one time. And I looked at it one time I came here one time when like they first opened up, I was still playing ball.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I came, it wasn't that many people like you said. And I came back and I was like, man, it's packed in here. And these guys, and you know, you're looking at it, you're seeing the fruits of you guys' labor, everything, all the hard work you guys have put into it. And now it's a place it's every Thursday.
Every
open,
Thursday,
every Wednesday,
Saturday,
Monday, Saturday.
Monday. Like
We're going to Truth, we're going to Oak.
There you go, man.
Even
Like,
if people, they come down here, they come downtown, they just coming down to parlay for a second. Now we going to Truth.
Yeah.
Now we going to Oak. And that's just something that you guys have been able to, you know, not only yourself, but Stokes has been able to build. And Stokes is a guy that I've always heard about, you know,
Yeah.
and I've always been a person like this. No matter what I hear about a man or a woman, I'm always taking for myself. So he's a guy you may hear something positive about, something negative about, but I said, let me take an account for myself. So, you know, being in the trucking game with somebody I dealt with for him ordering liquor, you know, stuff like that. And I was like, man, this guy really cool, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he just misunderstood. But sometimes
a lot of people don't understand, like, in that line of work,
yeah.
like you have to be your brand. You have to be like a character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have
You
to
have to
play.
be-
You
you have to
gotta
play a
your part.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And you can't judge somebody off of seeing them in that type of environment.
Right,
You
right.
really have to get to know somebody,
Right.
have a decent
Yeah.
conversation
And man, I
with
used to
them.
have conversations with him as I came and used to deliver with him. And man, he just talking like just, you know, just kind of just laid
Yeah,
back.
for sure. Like we
know,
talk,
cool.
he texting me now. Like
Yeah.
for real. Like we
Yeah.
talk, we text every day.
Just a cool guy.
Like,
and I was
just-
like, and then
yeah,
I said,
that's-
man, that's why you got to get to know people for themselves. You can't go on just word of mouth because if you
There
do,
you go.
sometimes sometimes people give people a bad rap when it's really a good person, but he's just doing what's right for the business. But sometimes the business and the individual are different.
Yeah, for sure. But he cool, man.
He cool.
He know
Definitely
what
good.
come. He know what come with it. Like
Yeah.
you gotta point a finger at somebody. You gotta.
Yeah, that's it.
somebody gotta
be
be
the
the bad guy. And that's our thing. Like he the bad guy, I'm the good guy. You feel
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But we both. Like, man, we just want the best for everybody that come out to the
Best experience,
venues.
yeah.
Want everybody to get home safe, and
Yeah.
we want everybody to like have a great time.
That's
like,
it, man. I
straight
had
up.
some people come from DC. A lot of my family from out that way, man. They came here, booked the section at was it Oak or Truth? One of those two. And it was like, man, this is the best experience that they had. And DC got some popping spots out
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
You talk about the stadium and these different spots all over DC. It's like, bro, that's like what the best place we've been through.
Hey,
Even counting DC.
There you go.
And I
That's
said, when you think about that, that's what go along when the people that's not from here go back and talk about your spot and how well it's doing and just how they, you know, the service was good. The people was nice, you know, friendly, you know, everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to y'all for just building that brand, man.
for sure. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Like I said, man, when I get on this platform and before I get off, I always try to like to spit a word of encouragement to the youth looking back. Because there's so many guys that been in your position, been in my position, you get hurt, they don't know how to just redirect and reinvent themselves. So what would just be your advice to a young man or a young woman just trying to just being good at one thing, at the top of the game, it doesn't work out, they kind of fall off, and then you reinvent yourself into something else and be just as big as you were in sports? What would be your advice to them?
Just find something that you're gonna fall in love with, and do your homework, do your research, and give it all you got. You feel what I'm saying?
That's
like, and studying and research is big in whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, and have faith in God. Like,
that's it, man. Yeah, and when you say studying and research, I feel like sometimes what we don't see. Here with this podcast, man, I do a lot of that. Studying and research, finding out who Marvin Stone is, who these different guests, tapping into who they were, back then to make them develop to who they are now. Everything plays a part in it. So like I said, you got to study, put your homework in. Anything that's worth having, man, you got to work hard, and there's gonna be some sacrifice in it. I'm pretty sure you've made many sacrifices to get to this point of where you are now, and you still want to grow. You still going. You still counting up. Oak and Truth, for Stone. What is it? Stone Production,
Stone Entertainment. Baby.
That's just a it's a stepping stone. I know you're definitely looking to go higher, man. And here, bro, we praying that you do go higher and keep on developing and doing your thing, man. And bringing talent not only to the CSRA, man, but branching this thing off, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So, man, anything else, man, before we get out that you want to talk about about your life, anything that you just want the youth to hear. Any message for anybody out there?
Just keep going, man. Keep going. Don't never give up. Like, don't never let nobody deter you from what it is you want to do, what it is you want to be. Like, just don't never give up. Like, just keep going. Like,
for sure.
That's my thing.
For sure, man. And I feel like that's important to hear, man. Because being here in the city like Augusta, this is our city. We're from here, but we know what the mood can be and what the atmosphere can be. And sometimes it can be where one man down, we're gonna bring the next man down. But like you say, you gotta keep that positive and you keep that God in you. You know what I mean? To keep trying to climb the ladder, because there's always gonna be something in life that's
Hey, some gonna knock you down.
Some gonna try to knock you down, man. But it's part of it. For sure, man. Stone, man. Like I said, not to put longer time, man. Definitely. Just want to thank you, bro, for coming in here, sitting down, man. Definitely some good knowledge in here, man. So Stone, from me to you, bro, appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Hey, man. Thank you, bro, for just coming down here, man, and taking out your time, bro. Because, like I said, you didn't have to do it, man. I know you got probably so busy with so many other different things for us in the promoting game.
It's all good,
but
man.
Hey, man, but you sat here and you gave me your time. So, man, with that being said, we're over and out, man. This is the OG, man, the gridiron legend. We sitting here with Marvin Stone, the promoter extraordinaire that's doing it big, man. Go check him out, man. You can catch him at Oak. You can catch him at Truth. He brings some talent straight here to the city of Augusta, man. So, with that being said, Press Coverage Podcast, man, we over and out. See you.
For sure.
20-yard line. Dansby makes the interception.